Look at your wrist right now. That watch, that bracelet, you think it was your choice, right? But what if I told you that this simple object could be the reason for your tiredness, your lack of money, and your constantly low energy? This isn't a theory. It's a secret that the Egyptian god Thoth revealed and that the elites have hidden from you for millennia. The fatal mistake that 99% of people make lies in the wrist they choose. Your right hand and your left hand are portals with opposite functions. One projects your strength into the world, the other draws the energies of the universe into you. Wearing the right bracelet on the wrong wrist creates a short circuit in your energy. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly which wrist is right for protection and which wrist is right for prosperity. The solution is so simple that you'll wonder how you've lived this long making this mistake. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to reveal could change your energy forever. And before we continue, comment down below. The power is in my hands. The nature of God is a circle whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. Have you ever stopped to think about why humanity, since the beginning of time, wears bracelets? Look at your wrist right now. Maybe you're wearing a watch, a state, a fabric bracelet, or a stone amulet. You put it there out of habit, for style, maybe because it was a gift. But what if I told you that this seemingly harmless gesture is one of the most important energetic decisions you make every single day? Most of us were taught to see the world in a superficial way. A bracelet is just an accessory. A hand is just a hand. But that's the big lie we were told to keep us asleep. The truth is that your hands are energetic portals. Your right hand and your left hand are not the same. They function like the positive and negative poles of a cosmic battery. One is a cannon, projecting your energy and will into the universe. The other is a magnet, pulling the energies of the world into you. They are tools for creation and reception, and your wrist is the activation point. But for you to understand the magnitude of this power and why it's been so carefully guarded, we can't stay on the surface. We need to go to the source. Our journey takes us back to the sands of time, to a civilization that mastered energy like no other, guided by an intelligence that recorded the secrets of the universe. To decode the code in your hands, we must first uncover the lost legacy of the scribe of the gods. To understand why a simple ornament on your wrist carries so much power, our journey inevitably leads us into the mists of time, to the heart of ancient Egypt. There, under the watchful eye of the pyramids, a mythical figure recorded the secrets of creation. Thoth, the ibis-headed god, the divine scribe. Thoth wasn't just one god among many. He was considered the embodiment of the universal mind itself, the cosmic intelligence that wove reality through word, geometry, and magic. He was the master of hidden knowledge, the architect of the laws that govern heaven and earth. As the centuries passed and Egyptian and Greek cultures merged, Thoth's wisdom was fused with that of the god Hermes, the messenger of the Olympians. From this syncretism was born a legendary figure, Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, whose legacy gave rise to Hermetic philosophy. He was the one who, according to tradition, left humanity the famous Emerald Tablets, a set of texts that contained the key to understanding the universe. And in one of those tablets, we find the principle that illuminates our entire mystery. That which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below. This phrase is not just a poetic proverb. It is a universal law. It teaches us that our body, the microcosm, is not separate from the universe, the macrocosm. On the contrary, it is a perfect mirror, a miniature replica of all creation. Every cell in your body contains the wisdom of the stars, and your hands in this cosmic scheme are not mere appendages to grab objects. Thoth and the initiates who followed his teachings knew that hands are living antennas, energetic terminals that connect us directly to the invisible forces around us. They understood that the right hand and the left hand have distinct polarities, functioning like the poles of a battery or a magnet. This isn't a cultural belief, but a bioenergetic reality. The right holds one charge and the left another. Egyptian priests, pharaohs who saw themselves as gods on earth, and members of Greek mystery schools didn't wear their elaborate bracelets and amulets by accident or vanity. Each choice was a deliberate act of energetic engineering, a way to align their personal vibration with cosmic currents to manifest power, invoke protection, or channel wisdom. This knowledge was so powerful that it was considered sacred and, therefore, hidden from the masses. It was passed on only orally, from master to disciple, within closed circles. They knew that if it fell into the wrong hands or was used ignorantly, it could cause devastating imbalance. But this knowledge wasn't lost forever. It merely went dormant, waiting for the right moment to be rediscovered by those ready to hear. And that moment is now. We are about to uncover the first half of this ancient code, the key that activates the power to create and influence the reality around you. We will explore the nature of your solar hand, the channel through which your will becomes matter. Get ready to understand the explosive power that resides in your right hand, and how a simple object placed on it can become a true wand of power. The right wrist, the trigger of manifestation. Now that we understand that our hands are portals, let's decode the first one. Your right hand is your sword of power. It's your channel of action, the vehicle of your strength, the trigger of manifestation. In all ancient traditions, the right side has always been associated with the sun, the masculine principle, the active energy that projects outward. Think of all the power gestures you make with your right hand, the handshake that seals a deal, the hand that signs an important document, the arm that's raised to defend an idea. It's the hand that builds, that offers, that commands. It's your direct line of communication with the physical world. When you put a bracelet on your right wrist, something extraordinary happens. That object, whether it's a crystal, a metal, or a simple thread, stops being a passive accessory and becomes an energy amplifier. It works like a magnifying glass for your intention. The energy of that symbol or material doesn't stay contained within you. It's activated and projected into your environment, to the people around you, to the quantum field. Whether consciously or not, you are sending a clear and powerful signal to the universe about who you are and what you want to manifest. Let's look at a practical example. If you wear a stone like tiger's eye, known for its protective and courageous energy, on your right wrist, you're not just creating a passive barrier. You are actively projecting a shield of strength around you. It's like walking with an energetic bodyguard that repels negativity before it even has a chance to get close. If you wear a metal bracelet, like gold or silver, you're projecting a frequency of authority, value, and power, subtly influencing how people perceive and react to you. That's why, historically, kings, queens, generals, and spiritual leaders have always worn power bracelets and rings on their right hands and arms. They weren't just flaunting wealth, they were engaged in a continuous act of power projection. They understood that by doing this, they reinforced their authority in both the visible and invisible planes, solidifying their dominance and leadership abilities. Each piece of jewelry was a magical tool, a silent and uninterrupted declaration of their sovereignty. The right wrist was their command center. The uncomfortable question you need to ask yourself now is, what have you been projecting into the world without even knowing it? That bracelet you wear out of habit, what message is it sending? Is it amplifying your strength, your confidence, and your prosperity? Or is it perhaps projecting your insecurities, your fears, or an energy of scarcity? Every object on your right wrist becomes an extension of your will, an energetic arrow that you're constantly shooting into reality. You are the archer, and your bracelet is the tip of the arrow. Understanding this gives you immense power. You can start using this portal consciously to manifest your goals. Want more confidence in a meeting? Wear a symbol of power on your right wrist. Want to protect your energy field in a heavy environment? Wear a protective crystal on your right wrist. You turn a simple accessory into an active manifestation tool. But while the right hand is the sword that strikes, defends, and builds in the outer world, the left operates on a completely different level. It's a portal to an inner world, a universe of mysteries that most people are afraid to explore. If your right hand is the sun that radiates, your left hand is the moon that reflects and attracts. It is your receptive portal, your sacred chalice. In almost every mystical tradition, the left hand is the direct path to the heart, to the subconscious, to the world of intuition and emotions. Energetically connected to the right hemisphere of the brain, the center of creativity, sensitivity, and subtle perception. The left hand does not project energy outward. On the contrary, it acts as a powerful magnet, pulling in energies from the universe and your surroundings into your being. That's the fundamental reason why specific spiritual practices insist on using amulets on a particular wrist. The famous red string bracelet from Kabbalah, for example, is worn exclusively on the left wrist. The reason isn't aesthetic or arbitrary. It's placed there because its function is to act as an absorbing filter. It doesn't repel the evil eye or envy with active force. It attracts them and neutralizes them before they can penetrate and contaminate your auric field and soul. The left hand is the entry point, and the red bracelet is the guardian standing at the door. When you choose to wear a crystal with healing, calming, or loving properties, like amethyst or rose quartz, on your left wrist, you are making a very powerful decision. You are consciously opening your energy field to absorb those specific vibrations. It's like tuning into a radio station. By placing rose quartz on your left wrist, you're tuning into the frequency of love and compassion, allowing that energy to flow into you, healing emotional wounds and nourishing your heart. This is the hand of the oracle who receives visions, of the healer who feels others' pain, of the artist who channels inspiration. But here lies an immense danger, a truth that few dare to speak. The receptivity of the left hand doesn't come with a selective filter. It is an open door. And an open door allows everything in, not just the light. When you wear a bracelet on your left wrist without the proper knowledge and preparation, you're not only attracting high vibrations, you may unintentionally become an energetic sponge, absorbing anxiety, fear, anger, and envy from people and environments around you. You become a magnet for psychic pollution. Many people who consider themselves highly sensitive or empathetic suffer from this without knowing the cause. They constantly feel drained, anxious, or sad after interacting with others or being in crowded places. What they don't realize is that they might be wearing an amulet on their left wrist that, instead of protecting them, is amplifying their ability to absorb everything, like a lightning rod without grounding. You're leaving your soul's door wide open without a trained guardian to decide who gets in. Now that you understand the function of both portals, the sword on the right and the magnet on the left, a crucial question arises. How can we use this knowledge to stop making mistakes that sabotage our energy every day? What happens when, out of ignorance, we use the projection tool on the receiving portal or vice versa? This is where we uncover the silent mistake that 99% of people make, a mistake that may be at the root of many of your problems. The mistake 99% of people make. Here is the truth that, once understood, can change your energy field forever. The fatal mistake most people make is not in the bracelet they choose, but in their complete ignorance of which wrist to use. It's a circuit failure, a polarity reversal that happens every day on millions of wrists around the world. People use extremely powerful symbols at random, guided only by fashion or habit, and in doing so, they not only neutralize the power of their amulets, but often reverse it against themselves, creating a cycle of energetic self-sabotage. Let's look at the most common scenario. A person feels vulnerable, afraid, or simply wants to protect themselves from negative energies at work or on the street. They buy a tiger's eye or black tourmaline bracelet, stones known for their incredible ability to repel and create a protective shield. Intuitively, they put it on their left wrist, associating the left with protection and the heart. But what did they just do? They placed a crystal of projection and action, an active shield, on their absorption and receiving portal. The result is an energetic disaster. Instead of repelling negativity, the combination of a projection crystal on the absorption wrist creates a confusing effect. At best, the stone's power is neutralized. At worst, and more commonly, the person begins to absorb the negative energy the stone was supposed to repel, feeling even more tired, irritable, anxious, and drained without having the slightest idea why. They look at the bracelet and think, "This doesn't work," when in fact they're using a powerful tool in the completely wrong way. It's like trying to use a shield to catch water. The same thing happens in reverse, and the effect is just as harmful. A person seeks more self-love, calm, and emotional healing. They get a rose quartz or amethyst, crystals of soft and receptive vibration, with the intention of projecting that energy into the world and being seen as a more loving person. They put it on their right wrist, the wrist of action and projection. What happens? Instead of absorbing the crystal's healing qualities for themselves, they start projecting their own vital healing energy outward to the environment and to others, draining their precious reserves. They become an involuntary energy donor, feeling exhausted and empty, while people around them may even feel good near them. They wanted to fill their own cup, but by using the wrong wrist, they ended up emptying it to fill others. In both cases, the person is essentially putting the battery in backwards. They're trying to use the send function on the receiving portal and the receive function on the sending portal. The energetic code has been broken and the system goes into failure. This is the knowledge that was lost, replaced by the superficiality of fashion. We've been led to believe that appearance is more important than function, that the side we use doesn't matter. But it does, and a lot. Now you may be wondering, what if I wear bracelets on both wrists? Doesn't that balance things out? The answer is no, not automatically. In fact, wearing bracelets on both wrists without the correct knowledge can make the situation even more dangerous, creating a closed circuit that can either lift you up or trap you. Now that you understand the polarity of each wrist, we dive into an even more advanced concept. What happens when you wear bracelets on both wrists at the same time? This act, which for many is just a matter of style, actually activates a powerful closed energy circuit. You stop being just a projector or a receiver and become a living bridge, a conscious channel where energy flows in a continuous cycle between giving and receiving, the sun and the moon, the inner and outer worlds. You transform into a self-sustaining energy system. If the symbols you choose are in harmony and placed on the correct wrists, the effect is extraordinary. Imagine wearing black tourmaline on your right wrist and rose quartz on your left wrist. With the right, you project an impenetrable shield that actively repels any attack or negativity. With the left, you continuously absorb a vibration of love, calm, and healing into your inner field. You create a perfect flow of power. You protect yourself from what comes from outside while nurturing yourself within. Your intuition sharpens, your personal magnetism increases, and you become a point of balance and power. In this state, you become a true energetic alchemist. You project your strength and intention into the world with your right hand, and with your left, you receive back the universe's responses, insights, synchronicities, and emotional nourishment. It's a virtuous cycle of power that feeds itself. Many ancient traditions, such as the Andean shamans and Egyptian priests, perfectly understood this circuit. They wore double bracelets in their most important rituals, not by chance, but to become perfect channels between heaven and earth, capable of manifesting and receiving power in an unbroken flow. However, here lies the dangerous duality of this circuit. If the symbols are incompatible, or if one of them has been charged with a negative intention or simply placed on the wrong wrist, the circuit reverses and turns into an energetic prison. Instead of a cycle of power, you create a short circuit of self-sabotage. Imagine wearing an aggressive protection amulet on the right, and on the left, a bracelet you received from an envious person or bought in a low vibration place. What happens? You project an energy of conflict and defense with the right, and at the same time, with the left, you absorb the vibration of envy or stagnation contained in the other amulet. You get stuck in a toxic loop, projecting shadow and reabsorbing it continuously. Your own energy begins to circulate in a short circuit that drains your vitality, leaves you stagnant, confused, powerless, and trapped in repetitive patterns of suffering. You become your own source of poison without even realizing it. The key to mastering this circuit, to ensure it works as a power plant and not as a cage, is not in having more bracelets or the most expensive ones. The key lies in an even deeper secret, a revelation left by Thoth that transcends the object and focuses on the consciousness behind it. It's the secret that finally puts the power back in your hands, allowing you to transform any object into a talisman and any wrist into a portal to your freedom. The revelation of Thoth, the secret to activate your bracelets. We've reached the turning point, the great revelation of Thoth, the secret the elites have kept hidden, and that now comes to light, is not about which bracelet you should buy or which crystal is the most powerful. The true magic, the real power, was never in the object. It has always been in the consciousness and intention you place upon it. A simple cotton thread, activated with the strength of your will, can become a more powerful talisman than the rarest diamond worn in ignorance. The power is not outside of you, it's within, and now you're going to learn how to command it. The solution to transforming any accessory into a tool of power is a simple but profound three-step ritual: cleansing, consecration, and programming. This process shifts the object from the passive state of an accessory to the active state of an ally. The first step is cleansing. Every object, from its extraction in nature to its arrival in your hands, absorbs a trail of energies. It carries the impressions of all the people who have touched it and all the places it has passed through. Before wearing any bracelet, new or old, you need to reset this history. It's like formatting a hard drive. There are several ways to do this. You can leave the bracelet under the light of the full moon overnight, bathe it in salt water, pass it gently through the smoke of sage or Palo Santo incense, or simply hold it under running water for a few minutes. As you do this, the most important part is your visualization. Imagine all past energies, impressions, and memories being completely washed away and dissolved, leaving the object energetically pure and neutral. It's now a blank canvas, ready to receive your command. The second step is consecration. Once cleansed, the object is neutral, but it still has no purpose. Now, you will dedicate it to a higher end. Hold the bracelet between your cupped hands, bring it close to your heart, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath and declare, either out loud or in your mind, with full sincerity, "I consecrate this object to the light for my highest good and the good of all involved. May it serve only purposes of love, protection, and wisdom." With this act, you are sealing a pact, raising the vibration of the object, and ensuring that it can only be used for good. The third, and most crucial step, is programming. This is the moment when you give your talisman a specific command. With the bracelet still in your hands, decide on your clear and single objective. If it's protection, the manifestation of a goal, or the projection of strength, visualize your desire already fulfilled. With maximum detail and emotion. Feel the confidence, feel the success. Imprint that image and feeling into the object. Then place it on your right wrist. If your goal is healing, inner peace, intuition, or attracting love, do the same visualization process and place it on your left wrist. By doing this, you are no longer wearing a simple bracelet. You are wearing an extension of your will, a constant reminder of your power, an ally programmed to work in your favor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You've imprinted your personal code onto the object's energetic structure. This ritual frees you from the tyranny of fashion and unconscious consumption. But now that you hold this key, a new layer of the game is revealed. Are the symbols we wear truly ours, or are they invisible chains disguised as freedom? Now that you hold the key to activate the power in your wrists, it's time to look at society with new eyes. Look again at your bracelet, at your watch. Was that choice really yours, or were you subtly influenced to wear a code you didn't create? Here, our journey dives into an uncomfortable truth. What we now call an accessory has often, throughout history, been a chain. Think of the shackles used on slaves and prisoners. Where were they placed? On the wrists and ankles. They were visible seals of submission, marks of ownership. Do you really believe it's just a coincidence that over time society turned those same chains into fashion accessories? Fashion is often not evolution, but collective amnesia, a camouflaged memory. The symbols may change form, but their energetic essence and control function can remain. The system, whatever it may be, knows this perfectly well. What you wear on your wrist is a silent reminder of belonging, a signature that aligns you with a certain frequency or ideology, often without your conscious permission. Think about trends that take over in overwhelming waves. Whether it's a music festival wristband, a luxury brand bracelet, or a simple colored thread that everyone's wearing, when millions of people adopt the same code, the same symbol, without questioning its origin or meaning, they willingly enter a game of invisible control. They connect to a specific collective consciousness, and their energy fields begin to vibrate in unison, strengthening the egregore of that brand, that movement, or that ideology. Secret orders and ancient initiatory societies have long used this technology. A bracelet was given to the initiate not just as a symbol of protection, but as a visible oath and energetic link to the order. Every time the disciple looked at their wrist, they remembered where their loyalty lay and reconnected to the power of that group. The pattern is undeniable and repeats throughout history. The wrist is where individual freedom and servitude to a collective meet. Today, this same mechanism operates even more subtly, disguised as consumerism and brand identity. Major corporations don't just sell a product, they sell a lifestyle, a sense of belonging to a tribe. When you wear a brand's logo prominently on your wrist, you become a walking billboard for its values. Your energy field begins to resonate with that corporation's frequency, whether you agree with its practices or not. You are literally lending your vital energy to strengthen someone else's egregore. The fundamental question that emerges from this knowledge is not what's trendy, but rather to whom or what am I aligning myself energetically. Every bracelet can be a key to your personal sovereignty, or an invisible shackle that binds you to a collective consciousness that isn't yours. With the power of the three-step ritual, you can now break those chains. You can take any symbol, cleanse it of external programming, and insert your own code. You stop being a billboard and become the architect, using the portals on your wrists not to serve a system, but to build your own reality. And that construction begins with deep inner alchemy. The inner path. Transforming your reality. Mastering the energetic code of your wrists is much more than simply knowing where to place a bracelet. It is the starting point for a deep and powerful inner alchemy. The journey that began with a seemingly simple question about an accessory now leads you to the threshold of mastery over your own reality. When you stop being a passive user of symbols and begin to consciously choose what you carry, where you carry it, and with what intention, you initiate a process of transmutation. You are no longer a leaf in the wind, vulnerable to the chaotic energies of your environment. You become the alchemist in your own sacred laboratory. Your awareness expands in ways you never thought possible. You begin to perceive the subtle currents of energy that weave the world around you. You walk into a space and immediately feel its vibration. You speak with someone and sense the energy behind their words, not just the words themselves. The constant practice of projecting your intention through the right hand and receiving wisdom through the left creates a harmonious energy flow throughout your entire being, strengthening your intuition to an extraordinary level and supercharging your ability to manifest. You learn to use your hands as the tools of the ancient magicians. With the right hand, you learn to write in the book of life, projecting into the quantum field the scenes, the emotions, and the realities you want to create. Every intentional gesture becomes an act of creation. With the left hand, you learn to read the messages and signs the universe sends back to you in response. You become more sensitive to synchronicities, to insights that arise out of nowhere, to dreams that guide you. Communication with the universe becomes a two-way street, a constant dialogue. This process dissolves the most fundamental illusion that keeps us trapped, the feeling of separation between me and the world. You come to understand, on a cellular level, the hermetic principle of correspondence. Your outer world is, and always has been, a direct and relentless reflection of your inner world. By adorning your left wrist with a symbol of self-love and self-compassion, you're not just hoping to receive love from the outside, you are becoming the very vibration of love, and the universe, by law, responds to that frequency, attracting people and situations that mirror that inner state. In the same way, by wearing a prosperity amulet on your right hand, programmed with your intention, you are not merely asking for wealth passively. You are actively projecting the frequency of abundance, acting as a source that generates opportunities, attracts clients, and opens doors. You stop being a beggar waiting for the universe to hand you something, and instead become a partner in the dance of creation. This is the ultimate shift from the victim mindset to the co-creator mindset. You are no longer a helpless pawn in the game of life. You become a conscious player who not only understands the rules but uses them wisely and intentionally to actively shape your destiny. You realize that energy flows where attention goes, and you learn to direct your attention, and therefore your energy, toward creating the life you truly want to live. And this mastery over your own energy, this inner alchemy, leads you to the peak of the journey, the final understanding of your place in the cosmos as the architect of your own destiny. We've reached the end of this journey, but in truth, this is your real beginning. The path that revealed Thoth's secret was never really about bracelets, crystals, or rules. It was about power, your power, the power that has always been there, dormant in your own hands, waiting to be rediscovered and reclaimed. The wrist, this portal of vital energy that connects your inner world to the outer, is the exact point where you exercise your sovereignty. The right projects, the left receives. And in their conscious union, you complete a circuit of power that defines you not as a victim of circumstances, but as a divine and creative being. Knowledge by itself is just information stored in the mind. True wisdom, the gold of the alchemists, lies in the daily and conscious application of that knowledge. Real transformation isn't in accumulation. If you've made it this far, you are no longer the same person who began this video. You have awakened to a knowledge that few ever access. To seal this new awareness, leave a comment with the phrase, "I am the architect of my destiny." Your journey of transformation is what inspires me to keep going. If you feel that this content has added value to your life, and want to help this channel grow and spread more messages like this one, there is a way to contribute directly. In the first pinned comment, you'll find a link to support our work. Any support is deeply appreciated by me and essential to the future of the channel. But understand, just the fact that you stayed until the end is already a huge help. And if you can share this video with someone who needs to hear this, you'll be expanding this wave of awakening. And before you go, your journey doesn't have to end here. I've selected a special video for you to take the next step, a piece of content that will deepen everything we've talked about. Don't leave just yet. Click the video that's appearing on the screen now and let's meet there. I'll see you on the other side.